Welcome back to Tech Total Access. I'm Matt Johnson.
And I'm Madeline Myrick with your Hokie highlights. Following the tough loss at Notre Dame that ended Virginia Tech's football winning streak, the Hokies faced Wake Forest in Lane Stadium on November 9th. Down on the sidelines, we have Tech Total Access reporter Golder Baugh. Golder, how was the game?
Hey Hokie Nation! After a 3-game winning streak, the Hokies fell short to Notre Dame last weekend by 1 point. This week, the Hokies again proved their talent against Wake Forest. Some of the top key players dominating on the field for Hokie football are underclassmen such as wide receiver Trey Turner and quarterback Quincy Patterson. Tonight, the Virginia Tech football team hosted the number 22 team, Wake Forest, and dominated them 36-17. And throughout the whole game, you could hear the Hokie football fans cheering the team on as they worked their way to a victory. Throughout the major changes made to the Virginia Tech's football team this season, something that does stand out when it comes to the team are the young players who have stepped up to lead Hokie Nation to a victory, such as redshirt freshman quarterback Quincy Patterson.
It's definitely cool to see that all the hard work that we put in is finally paying off. Considering that we have 3 losses this year, regardless of the hard work. But now it's cool to see that it's all showing up in W's now. So.
The win against Wake Forest was not only a major win for Hokie Nation, but it was also a memorable way to send associate head coach and defensive coordinator Bud Foster off for his retirement.
When I do see him with the defenses, you can definitely tell it's like a family over there, and but he instills a brotherhood to them, and that the defense is just one big unit, and that they play because of him and through him, and it's really cool to see that from a coach, let alone being a player that wants that as well.
Tonight, the Hokies not only beat Wake Forest, but they also gave an amazing farewell to Coach Bud Foster, who is retiring after this fall season. I'm Golder Baugh with VT Tech Total Access. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Golder. Before kickoff, Bud Foster was honored for his 33 years as the Virginia Tech football defensive line coach. Foster has kept the Hokies among the nation's best during his time with the coaching staff, and he is sadly retiring after this season. A Bud Foster banner with the lunch pail was unveiled inside Lane Stadium before the game.
The men's basketball team started the 2019-2020 season strong with a 67-60 win over Clemson on opening night. The Hokies then faced Coppin State November 8th for their first home game. Down on the court, we joined Tech Total Access reporter Katie Leeper. Katie, how'd the men play?
Following the exciting win over Clemson for the season opener, Castle Coliseum was packed for the first home game against Coppin State.
Virginia Tech head coach Mike Young knew what he was doing, starting Horn, Nolly, Wilkins, Beatty, and Aline as the team hit 4 3-pointers within the first 3 minutes of the game. The Hokies continued this momentum on both the offensive and defensive side throughout the game, as Coppin State was only able to gain 4 field goals before halftime, resulting in a 35-12 lead for the Hokies. Coppin State's frustration over their miserable shooting record first half led to many fouls being called against them, only furthering the divide on the scoreboard the second half. Coppin State was unable to stop the Hokies from shooting a shocking record of 11 3-pointers by the end of the game. The final score was 74-42, marking the first home victory of the season for Virginia Tech. 6'3", 195-pound freshman guard Naheem Aline made his home college debut tonight after marking his first ever college debut in the season-opening win at Clemson.
I love it here. This is my first game actually being here. I've never been to a game here, so it was great.
6 foot, 200-pound junior point guard Wabisa Beatty also stood out during tonight's game, as he had a career-high 10 assists and 9 rebounds.
Our goal is just to always get better each and every year. That's, I think, every team's goal. We're happy we're back at Classville. It's just cool playing here again.
New head coach Mike Young didn't waste any time to prove his worth, as he has led the Hokies to their current 2-game winning streak. First week of the season. Until next game, I'm Katie Leeper for Tech Total Access. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Katie. Although Tuesday's game against Clemson marked Mike Young's 300th win as the head coach, the victory against Coppin State meant a little more, as it was his first home victory as Virginia Tech's head coach. Mike Young shared with us some of his thoughts about the season following the game.
Smart guys, they understand it's early November and we've got 19 more of those bloodbaths, so let's maintain some perspective. Long way to go and a lot to improve upon, but that was huge in a lot of regards. We had 13 turnovers, and I'm never going to be critical of any of them. That's not what I do. I'm not. I'll be critical of myself before I'm critical. But Anders Nolly is a super Now, he's a really good player. And Wabisa is a really, really good player. And those kids combined for 8, and we gained with 13 Virginia Tech turnovers, and we're not going to do that. And then 15 tonight. There'll be some balloons popping on Sunday. I guarantee you.
The men's basketball team returned to Castle Coliseum November 13th to face the University of South Carolina Spartans. Tech Total Access reporter Kelly O'Regan was out there. Kelly, how are our men able to continue the winning streak?
Virginia Tech and USC Upstate were battling for points in the beginning of the game. Fortunately, Virginia Tech was able to capitalize on their three-pointer shots for a final score of 80-57. The beginning of the game was shaky for the Virginia Tech Hokies, although it was the second half where the Hokies understood the rhythm of the game. The defense was strong in the second half as they made 6 steals and 6 blocks against the USC Upstate Spartans. Landers Noli, a redshirt freshman, scored 14 out of his 23 points in the second half. The Hokies were able to score 13 three-pointer shots, an all-time high for the season. Point guard Wasabi Beatty was a strong leader as he finished with 8 assists. A new freshman, Hunter Catter, scored 3 three-pointers. He has been lucky enough to play in all 3 games of the season so far and has been adjusting well.
It's been each and every day. I've been improving and getting better in practices, and in each game, the game's slowing down for me and becomes easier and easier. Wabisa Beatty and Landers Nolly. Wabisa just being here, being a junior and seeing it all, he's really helped me on the mental side of the game, and then Landers Nolly just being a killer and going out there and pushing me every day and being competitive.
Not only is Catter new, but so is the head coach, Mike Young. So far, Mike Young has been a positive component to the team.
Great guy. In every aspect, he pushed us just not on the court, but off the court to be better men. He talked about a lot of different stuff. Even in film sessions, he'll stop and talk about some stuff that just make you better as a person. So having him as our head, I feel like we're going to be good.
The Hokies have started 3-0 for the second consecutive season.
Did a better job in the second half. But we expect to win a number of games. Needless to say, we're going to have to do a better job in that regard. Eight offensive rebounds against someone in our league would prove to be costly.
Many Hokie fans left tonight feeling proud. The season has just started, and boy, is it looking good. Final score, 80-57 Hokies. I'm Kelly O'Regan reporting with Tech Total Access. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kelly. Big changes are happening on campus. War Memorial Hall is closing its doors December for renovations that will last until the fall of 2021. These renovations will include new wellness centers, classrooms, and even another floor.
The gym will also gain more space, better equipment, and air conditioning. Maybe students can even hope for some Wi-Fi, but that might be too much to ask for, as the subterranean location of War is the only thing not being changed. Tech Total Access reporter Logan McDonald was on campus to talk with students about how this might affect them.
Every day, hundreds of students gather in War Memorial Hall to use their facilities, their basketball courts, their volleyball courts, as well as their racquetball courts and weightlifting. However, with War Memorial Hall closing coming soon for up to a couple years, the impact on student fitness and time management could be large.
With War Memorial Hall closing for a couple years starting in December, students will lose the benefit of its ideal location being located in the center of campus just outside the drill field. This will drive up traffic at McComas Hall while providing time management issues for students who have to walk over to McComas Hall for their daily exercise. We went student to student asking about the detriments of War Memorial Hall closing to student fitness and time management.
I was trying to apply for the lifeguard position for next semester, but by the way, they told me that the War Memorial swimming pool, even the basketball court, are going to be up closed for the next entire year, so I was kind of surprised, yeah.
So once War does close, is it going to probably cause a lot of time management issues, or do you think you'll work out less having to go to McComas all the time?
Maybe. I'll probably work out in my room or invest in dumbbells probably in my room, and the cadets have a gym, so I'll probably use that more often, but it's definitely it's definitely gonna cause a lot of ruckus.
Yeah. So once it closes, what other forms of fitness are you probably gonna do? Are you probably just gonna go to McComas, or?
If I can go late at night, yes, but I know it's gonna be awful, it's gonna be very crowded, so whatever I can try to fit in.
So do you overall see yourself probably working out less once War Memorial closes because of the inconvenience?
Probably a little bit less.
As we've seen, the impacts of War Memorial Hall closing coming up could be large on student fitness and student time management. It should be interesting to see how Virginia Tech adjusts and provides new opportunities for student fitness. This is Logan MacDonald signing off with VT Total Access. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Logan. That's all we have for your Hokie highlights. Thanks for watching Tech Total Access. I'm Matt Johnson.
And I'm Madeline Myrick. We'll keep you updated throughout the week on Instagram through VTTV33.